This is Valmiki Ramayana, Season 1, Episode 11. Study Tour continues. In the previous episode, we were faced with the question, what is the meaning of the word dharma as it is used by Valmiki? Does it have anything to do with religion? Or is it used in the sense of the right thing to do or righteousness? We know that meanings of words change over time. For example, today we may say, "Oh, this episode is terrific. I love it," meaning that it is excellent. In the 17th century, terrific was only used to describe something that was frightening. By about late 1800s, it also started being used for something that was excellent. The intended meaning can be inferred from the context. Let us see the context in which Valmiki has used the word dharma. When Vishwamitra asked Dashrath to send Ram with him, and he refused, Vasishtha said these words in order to convince him. Ikshvakunam kule jatas sakshat dharma ivaparah dhrutiman suvratah shriman na dharmam hatumarhasi. Born in the line of Ikshvaku, you are dharma personified. You always remain firm and steadfast. Do not abandon your dharma now. And you are known throughout the world as someone who knows dharma. Therefore, you must follow your dharma, swadharma, and not fall into adharma. And when Vishwamitra had to convince Ram to kill Tataka, one of the things he said was, "This is the dharma of those appointed to bear the responsibility of a kingdom." The closest word we can replace dharma with in the above shlokas is righteousness or the right thing to do. As used here, dharma has nothing to do with religion as it is commonly understood and all that goes with it. For example, you are known throughout the world as someone who knows what is the right thing to do. Therefore, you must do the right thing in your situation, swadharma, not fall into adharma.
But how does one figure out what is the right thing to do? That really depends on the context.
Precisely. It depends on the situation a person is facing, as well as the role he or she is playing at that time. Vishwamitra used to be a king. In that role, he could and ought to have taken up arms to control disturbing elements in society. But now that he was no longer in that role, he was now a rishi, it was not his dharma to do so. Now it was Ram's dharma.
But then, how can I know what is the right thing to do in my context?
Use your head. You must think for yourself. And if you need some help to think through, consider the examples set by great people. And which, by the way, is why I am telling you about Ram. So, while we took this little detour to understand the meaning of dharma, Ram and Lakshman have hopefully had a restful night after their tough battle with Tataka. Let us rejoin them as they head towards Vishwamitra's yajna. On the morning after the battle with Tataka, Vishwamitra said to Ram, "Pritya paramaya yukto dadamyastrani sarvashah." With great pleasure, I shall now give you all these various astras. Vishwamitra was preparing Ram for his upcoming encounters with the Rakshasas. On the first day of their travel itself, Vishwamitra had taught Ram two very powerful mantras, Bala and Atibala. Now he taught him about numerous weapons, astras. Valmiki gives a long list of these weapons. Danda Chakra, Dharma Chakra, Kala Chakra, Vishnu Chakra, Vajrastra, Brahmastra, Dharmapash, Kalapash, and so the list goes on. 2 entire sargas, chapters, are dedicated to essentially list these astras. Not just the names, sometimes even the variants and models. Ashani dve prayachami, shushkardre. I shall grant you 2 thunderbolts. One is the dry type, shushka. The other is wet, ardra. Now consider this. Why would Valmiki give all these details? If he was writing fiction, would it not have been better to move the story along rather than bore readers with long lists of names? Once again, it is clear that Valmiki was recording events and knowledge of that time. Itihas. The Astra training was complete. Vishwamitra, Ram and Lakshman moved on. And in some time, the landscape changed. The Tataka one was behind them, and in front was a beautiful ashram. A mountain thickly covered with trees, herds of deer roaming around, sweet-sounding birds in the sky. There was an air of serenity and beauty. We will enter this ashram in the next episode. We will also get to know a little more about these institutions called ashrams. Iti ha asa. That is how it happened.